Is Australia broken? That is the begging question to which we probably already know the answer to. The answer is obviously Australia is broken, but I came across this TikTok video, guys and girls. I came across this TikTok video, and it is titled "Is Australia Broken?" So let's just listen to this video and make a little bit of commentary. I'm gonna share my opinions and responses. Yeah, I don't really have any things that I feel like ranting about lately, so yeah, I'm just gonna comment on people's videos for a bit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's watch this video.
Is anyone else in Australia kind of like, what's the point? If you're maybe like in your 20s, your 30s, and you're not being given things by your parents, and you've gone to uni, finished school, gone to uni, got a degree, which was meant to get you a good job, and that job was meant to pay for a house and maybe a holiday once a year, and maybe you'd have some kids.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck in today's society, especially in Australia. I didn't go to university because I knew that it was just pointless. The reality is that for the most part, people that go to university are just really just wasting their time. Like, no offense if you've been to university, but I mean, the reality is like most people I know that have like finished university, they don't even get, they barely make 80K a year. You know, and in today's society where everything's so like, you know, expensive, right? Expensive. You know, the thoughts of, you know, owning a house and especially having a kid, which I'd never want to have a kid anyways, because for starters, I can't afford a kid. And secondly, even if I could, I just don't really like kids, guys. You know, they just overstim the fuck out of me. But anyways, that's besides the point. The point is that, you know, university does not get you a good job anymore. It hasn't gotten people a good job for quite a long time. And, you know, if you think that you're going to be able to afford to buy a house on your, you know, degree job or whatever you get out of it, the reality is you probably won't. And even if you could, why would you want to? Like, why would you want to be, you know, trapped at debt? You know, and people can turn around and be like, oh, but there's good debt and there's bad debt. But I don't know, man. I don't fancy being on a ball and chain for basically the rest of my life. Paying off this fucking box of a house, missing out on everything in my life, missing out on going places, missing out on living in other places because, you know, I'm trapped paying off this mortgage. And of course, you know, people can turn around and be like, oh, well, you can just rent it out and go and travel. I mean, sure, I could, but, you know, I thought that most people's first houses can't be an investment property anyway. So like legally, you know, apparently you're not meant to rent it out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I don't really know too much about that area, and I'm not going to pretend I do know much about it. But I was under the impression that your first house can't be like an investment property. So I've been told. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But anyway, let's just keep listening to this.
And that's like not happening now, and you're kind of just like, what's the actual point of anything? Like, I'm 28 and I kind of thought by now, like, I might have like a 3-bedroom house, maybe like thinking about kids, maybe successful in my career.
Yeah, I thought I'd be like mega rich by now. Things never go as planned, guys, right? I mean, this is the reality, man. There's going to be more people, right? There's going to be more people who are 30, 40, even 50 that will be remaining living in share houses, never able to, you know, get out on their own, never able to afford their own house. That has become a pipe dream for most of us living in Australia right now. And plus, I mean, is owning a house even really like that great anyways? Like in Australia, you're not even allowed to do whatever you want with your property, man. Like you're not allowed to build what you want on your property without asking permission from the fucking council or the government or whatever. You need to ask permission to build on your property. Then you have certain councils which won't even let you store X amount of cars on your property. They won't let you store trucks on your property. Like, so apparently you purchase a property, but you're not allowed to even do anything with it. You're not allowed to, You're not allowed to play Minecraft on your property, man. That's basically what I'm saying. You know, what's the point? What's the point? And then I'm stuck with a forever, land tax, right? Because we have land tax here and council rates. I'm not sure if they're one of the same. But I mean, like, so even if I pay off my house, I'm still paying taxes. So I mean, I don't own it, and if I don't pay those taxes, then they'll just take it away anyway. So how can I own something that they can just, take away because I decide not to pay their fucking, extortion fees, right? Because that's what it is. It's extortion, really. Like, let's be realistic. That's council rates, fucking extortion. I get that, like, we need to, pay the services for the bins and all that stuff. I get that, right? But what if I'm not at my property? What if my property's empty and I want to leave it? Why the fuck am I still paying for rates then if no one's living there, no one's using the bins, etc., right? Why the fuck should I have to pay that shit, right? And it's just ridiculous, man. It's a joke, honestly.
The screaming you can hear behind me is my landlord's fucking grandkids, because my landlords live right behind me and I live in a tiny fuck-ass studio. And no, I don't live in Melbourne or Sydney. I moved regional to try and save money, and there's no jobs out here.
Yeah, there's no jobs in the country, and the jobs that are available are like the absolute minimum wage jobs that you can find, like working in Safeway or like Coles or like Target, or I don't know, man. There's just not really much opportunity out there, so there's no winning. I mean, yeah, it's cheaper, but you don't make as much. And even now, it's not even cheap anymore. When I went back home, places used to cost like $150, $200 a week. I went home to find that there's places being rented in that area for around $500, $600 a week. Blew my mind, man. Blew my mind. You know what? Honestly, it's really it's an immigration issue, man. Like, they keep bringing people into the country, and I have no issues directly with immigrants themselves. I'm not even just saying this, because the fucking lefty little YouTube might shut me down or whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. I actually don't have an issue with the immigrants, man, but I do have an issue that they keep bringing them in, because it's just creating a lot of, supply issues for people that need houses. So what happens when there's, everyone's renting out the houses? So what happens then? You've got more people fighting for it because there's less supply, more demand, so prices go up based on demand, right? That's how it works, supply, demand. And like, even like this chick mentioned, there's like landlords living in the back of the house, man. Like that's becoming a common thing too. Very common thing, actually.
Anyway, it's kind of just made me reassess my whole life. Like, what am I doing? Should I just go traveling? Is the world going to blow up in like 10 years and none of it matters anyway? Like, what's the general attitude? Because I'm a pretty like A-type person, like to plan everything. I'm just kind of feeling like, fuck it. Like, should I just do what makes me happy? Like, I don't know. Like, what are you guys doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing? Everyone is doing the exact same thing as what you are doing. Everyone is, struggling to get by, dealing with ridiculous rental prices, dealing with jobs that don't pay you shit. It's honestly easier to just go and stay on Centrelink, man, rather than go and work an additional 50 hours a week just for an extra $400. Because, let's be realistic, jobs these days, they don't really pay much more than $900 to $1,000 a week. Like, let's be realistic, man. So how is there any incentive to want to work when you can just stay on the dole, man, and get free money, right? And a lot of people are starting to do that now. A lot of people are just like, they're tapping out of work and they're going on the dole, and they're just getting their fucking dole pays. Make a few cashies on the side or whatnot, right? And the reason they're doing that is because, well, what's the point, right? What's the point? Even if I get less money, what's the point? Even if I go and work and I make an extra $400, $500, $600 a week, probably won't, but let's be realistic. Most people won't make much more than, I don't know, $900 to $1,000 a week, maybe $1,200 if you're in like the 79 bracket or whatever. You know, because after tax takes everything, after rent takes everything, there's nothing left. So, you're not going to save up for a house when you've got nothing left, right? So then you may as well just have nothing anyways, because, you know, if you have nothing anyways, I mean, you have nothing anyways. In the end, you do one path, you do the other path, you have nothing, right? So it's a waste of time working for the most part, and that sucks because there's just no incentive behind working. And I think a lot of people feel like that, yeah. And I think a lot of people are going to be, you know, displaying the same attitude as this woman in the video, right? It's going to be like, oh, well, you know, may as well just not work. May as well just, you know, go spend my money and go travel and go and do all this other shit, you know? That's basically all there is to it, right? Yeah, people are just going to feel like, you know, I've got nothing left anyway, so may as well just blow it all on fun, right? You know, I saw this ad the other day where it's like something about like 10 things to do after you save your 750k retirement or something like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How can anyone retire on $750,000? No one's retiring on 750k, right? No one. I don't see how anyone would be doing that, right? And you know, like you mentioned at the start, you know, if you don't have parents, pretty much. Okay, this is how I interpreted this, right? If you don't have parents, then you're screwed, right? If you don't have parents leaving you a house or leaving you some money, right? You're basically screwed, right? This is a reality. You have it a lot more difficult than most people, right? When you don't have those benefits, when your parents don't leave you anything. And this is why I say don't have kids when you're broke, right? Because then you can't leave your kids anything and then they suffer and you think your life is hard right now. Wait until they grow up and they have nothing, right? Nothing left to them trying to get by in this system, man. Like if you think it's bad for us, man, just wait and see how bad it will be for them if you're broke and you're not giving them anything or not giving them a foundation to start with. Like, they're going to be screwed. Like, that's the reality, man. Okay? So don't have kids if you're broke. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Australia is absolutely broken. And I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. So, yeah.